One of the many things that we do as agents is hold open houses. And today is Sunday, and I have a new listing that I put on the market at 732 Orchard, and I am doing an open house over there. When I do my open houses, I like to typically do a wine and cheese fair, and I've got the wine in the back. I went to the state store last night to get the wine, and then I am now here getting the cheese and a few more crackers. I just think it's a nice thing to provide for people. I also have some swag, my Ukrainian Glory Gear line of stuff. I've got for the first 10 people that come through, either their choice of a dad cap, which I don't know if it's politically correct or not. Ball cap is what I used to call them, and then some pashminas. Uh, More than likely for the ladies, and hopefully they will enjoy those. I'm hoping for a good turnout here. And now it is on to get the cheese. Okay, into the office for brochures. Okay, we have our open house today at 732 Orchard in Scott Township, Carnegie. And we had three groups through, which On TV, you watch people do open houses and they're like, oh, the 92 people came through here today. I honestly have never, ever had an open house with more than, I would say, 10, 15 groups. It's 2 hours, right? And it's not a whole lot of time to have that many people through. I mean, unless you did like an all day open house, which frankly, it's hard to say this, but I just have to come out with it. Houses don't typically sell through an open house. They sell because the property is put into the MLS and it is exposed to other buyer agents and the general public. And upon doing that, they set a scheduled showing and they come through at their own leisure and they look at your house and either they like it or they don't. Then they put an offer in if they like it. And I always tell my clients, don't be offended. I heard this a long time ago. I always tell my clients, don't be offended at the people who came through your house and brought you an offer. Be offended at the people who tracked dirt through your floors and didn't bring you an offer. So that's kind of a little bit about the open house story. Frankly, a lot of them are done to appease sellers. And we can also pick up buyers off of open houses. But this one was an average open house. Nothing crazy, nothing sad, nothing super happy. The last couple that went through seemed like they had some interest and they have an agent. So they'll speak with their agent who wasn't with them and they will decide on whether or not they want to come back again, maybe with their agent or that they saw enough that they'd like to bring an offer. And that's kind of the roundup of what open houses look like today. I didn't film inside the house while I was doing the open house because then it requires me to get the approval from the people that were filmed, or and there's really nothing. I mean, that's it, really. I'd have to have everybody say, "Oh yeah, we're cool with being on film," and I did. It's just not worth figuring out who everybody is. Long story boring though is my open house part of the day is done, and I'm going back to my home. I'm gonna shovel down some dinner real quick because I have another client who wants who needs some paperwork done. I'll do that, and then hopefully I'll actually sit back and drink some of the Chardonnay that wasn't drank. Drinking, drank, drunk. Anyway, that's probably where I'll land later tonight. But it was the first day on the market, and it's the beginning of the season, so I'm pretty happy with it. Usually I'll fire off an email or two, or get on Facebook, whatever it is, while I'm waiting around because you're just not moving typically the whole time in an open house situation. You're just kind of sitting, waiting for somebody to come by, and then it's, hi, how are you? I'm Chad, blah, 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 blah. So, open house episode done.